Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video we're going to be looking at Elementary OS 8 and we're going to set it up, install it, and we're going to see has it improved on Elementary OS 7, because Elementary OS 7 was labelled the worst distribution there is, and that's not just by me but that's by the ratings on distrowatch.com, and it's got a really bad reputation. So hopefully Elementary OS 8 will be a large improvement on that and we can give it the big thumbs up. So we're going to start off, we're going to go to Google Chrome, or you can use Edge if you want to use Edge, but go to elementary.io and you've still got the same website. If you want to just try it out, you just put a 0 in this box here and then you click the download Elementary OS and you just click this download button here, and that will start downloading in the top right corner like that. And then we also need a tool to create the USB drive, so we're going to go to Balena Etcher. So you go to etcher.balena.io and you click on download Etcher, and then you click on the one for Windows, so we're going to click that download link there, and that will also download in the top right corner. So you can see that the two files are now finished downloading, so I'm going to close the web browser and we're going to open up a file explorer, and you can see I've got Etcher here and the Elementary here. Now what you need to do is insert a USB drive, and it needs to have no data on it, or if there is data, copy it off somewhere else because it's going to get wiped as part of this process. So what you're going to do now is you're going to double click on this Balena Etcher and we can minimize this. What we're going to do is click Flash from File, and I'm going to choose the Elementary that we downloaded previously. Then we're going to click Select Target and choose the USB drive, and then we're going to click Flash. A message will pop up asking whether you are sure you want to continue. Select yes to that, and then the USB drive will be written to. This can take 15 to 20 minutes or so, so come back when that's completed. Okay, so you can see the flash is now complete and we're now ready to install Elementary OS. So what we're going to do is we're going to close down Etcher and we're going to reboot the computer, and we're going to press the relevant function key to get into the boot menu. So you can see my machine's booting up. I pressed the F7 key to bring up the boot menu. I'm now going to pick my USB drive, which is this one here. And now I can try or install Elementary OS, so I'm going to click that one. And it's now going to boot into Elementary OS. So here we are at the Elementary OS screen. I went for the try option so you can see what it looks like before we install. And what we're going to do is we're just going to click on this icon here to install Elementary OS. It will flicker. And here we are, it's at the select language screen, so we're going to select English, and I'm going to go for United Kingdom, UK for my keyboard layout, default keyboard layout, and I'm going to erase and install everything. And it asks where you want to install it. I'm just going to install it to this drive here. Click Next. You can encrypt it if you want to encrypt the drive. I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to choose Don't Encrypt and then Erase and Install. Notice that there's include third-party proprietary drivers when installing. I recommend checking that box. That will enable you to watch videos in certain formats and listen to certain audio formats, etc. So click Erase and Install, and Elementary will start to install to your hard drive. So you can see after the install it says the system will reboot, and it's now rebooting into Elementary, and this is the first boot in, and again we're back at the language selection screen which we selected during the install, so it hasn't carried that across. So again we have to select these options. And now you create a user, and give the user a password, Give the device a name. I'm going to call it elementary. Actually, so here we are. This is Elementary OS. Now, the problems we had in Elementary OS 7: 1, there weren't many apps installed; 2, the apps that were installed weren't very good; and 3, some of the theming was a little bit off. So the theming thing I can handle. I mean, the desktop does look pretty, always has looked pretty, but the theming does go awry quite quickly. But this is Elementary OS 8, so I'm going to treat it as if it's a clean slate. But the key things I'm looking at is how easy is it to install apps, what apps are installed in the first place, and how well it runs compared to other distributions. So let's start off with the internet. So we're going to go up here, and you can see it has picked up the Wi-Fi quite easily, so that's good. And we can just enter your Wi-Fi password here, and I believe that will work. So it's a good start. Oh, the bar at the top has now disappeared and it's come back again. Okay, so that's that. What we also need is some sort of Bluetooth.
Bluetooth mode.
So you can hear there, I've turned on a Bluetooth speaker, so we're going to click on here, Bluetooth settings. And it's found the Bluetooth device. So we'll click there and we'll click pair.
Connecting.
And that has connected successfully. So Bluetooth is working. So that's all well and good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to try printing. So let's go up here and go see if we can find printers. We can click that. And it's found my printer straight away. So hardware in Elementary OS 8 is working perfectly well, and that's good. So what apps have we got down the bottom here? As you can see, it's fairly easy to navigate. You've got up here your settings for most things, so that's notifications, you've got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, audio. I'm not sure what this one does, we'll click on that later. We've got the clock in the middle, and up here you've got applications. That brings you up to this nice stylish menu, and you can see these are the apps installed, and we'll go back to that. And then down here we've got a quick launch bar at the bottom. So what have we got? We've got multitasking view, which is essentially your workspaces. That's quite nice. Down here we've got the files. That brings up your file explorer, and that is a fairly nice interface to it, and it does the job, so we can leave that. One thing you'll notice is that the minimum maximizer is over here, and you've got your close over here. It takes a bit of time to get used to, but it works okay. Now here we have the web browser. So this is the GNOME web browser, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug it in a speaker, and we're going to go to YouTube and see how well that works. I mean, it's an interesting choice. I don't understand why you'd go against the flow of using something like Firefox, but they have. So this is my latest video, so let's click on that. So as you can see, I've actually got this problem when I try and run a video via the YouTube app. It says if playback doesn't begin shortly, try restarting your device. Now this is despite installing codecs. And is this a problem with the GNOME web browser? Let's try clicking another video, see what happens. You can see I've now got this message, the comment page is not responding. Wait, full stop. So, oh dear. So I think we'll leave that there at this moment in time. We'll install a different browser. Now, one of the programs I really don't like is Claw's Mail, and the mail program is... So this is the mail client, and we're going to click on online accounts, see if we can get one set up. And you see IMAP verification failed. So you can't connect this to a Gmail account, and being that a lot of the world uses Gmail accounts or Hotmail accounts, you would want a mail client that does that. So again, I don't know why they persist with using the GNOME web browser and this mail client. I think it's still clause, but it just, you have to lower your settings within Gmail to be able to connect to that account, and that's not something I'm willing to do. So I have a task manager. It's quite a good thing, I guess. Add a task, I don't know, buy Christmas presents. Add task. Yes, it works, that's perfectly fine. And we've got a calendar tool here as well, and that works as expected. Can you get that from up here as well? You've got a calendar up here anyway, so do you need that one down there? We've got an audio player. Okay, so you can see the queue is empty, so we need to add some files. So we're going to open some files up. I'm going to go to music, and I've added some songs that I downloaded from Sumo, and that is a AI tool for creating songs.
He's a geek with a heart full of stars, dreaming.
It's a fairly basic audio player, but it does the job.
She's a goth. Oh yeah, we're breaking free tonight. With a partner, grab your boots. We're out in the cold, taking a route. There's a green gecko calling my name. It's using changing the game.
So it's a fairly basic audio player that you've got there. We've got a media player. So here's the video application, and what we're going to do is click on there, and in my videos folder we've got some videos. Let's try this one. Unrecognized file format. Let's try a different video, and this is part of the video I'm recording here. So as you can see, I've actually got this problem when I try and run a video via the YouTube app. It says if playback doesn't begin shortly, try restarting your device. Now this is despite installing. So here's the web browser. I'm looking to see if I can, as you can see, it's not actually displaying the video at all. See. Now I don't know if that's the video that's being recorded or whether that is actually the video player itself that's messing around. So let's try the photo app, and I've imported some festive style pictures, and you can see that's running okay, and that is an app that's actually working properly, so we're quite happy with that one. Then we've got system settings and app center. We'll go into that shortly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reboot to see if that solves any of the issues I'm having thus far, in case, and I'm going to install all updates, etc., just to make sure that everything's working properly. So I'm going to show you the updates first. So what I'm going to do is click update all, and the only update available, oh no, everything's up to date. So it updated by itself, so we're all up to date. So what we're going to do is reboot the computer. So we're now completely up to date, and nothing's changed in terms of the video player still won't show the video, the audio player is okay, the mail program's rubbish, the GNOME web browser isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing with YouTube. So we're going to see if we can sort some of these things out. Let's start off by installing some actual decent applications. Now previously there was a problem with the App Center where if you wanted Flatpaks you had to go to the Flatpak website and download them and sideload them. I'm hoping that's improved in this version. So one thing you'll notice that's missing is an Office program, so let's see what Office programs are available. It's now checking for updates despite updates being checked and updated before I even ran this application. So these are the ones that you've got here. So you can install AbiWord if you want to. I'm looking for LibreOffice, and it is there, so that's good. So we've now got a step above what we had previously, and you can see it's coming from FlatHub, so that's good. So we can install that. Where's the actual install button? Oh, you have to actually click on the button that says free. There's no install button, but now you can see that's installing. Interestingly, if I click or hover over the word installing, it flicks from side to side. So let's go back then. Let's see if we can improve on some of these applications. So instantly I'm going to go for Chrome as the web browser. So you can see we've now got LibreOffice installed. We're going to search for a better web browser, and Chrome is available, so we can click on that there. Again, it's a FlatHub package, and to install you have to click free. This checking for updates is really annoying. Failed to install Google Chrome. This may be a temporary issue or could have been caused by external manual compiled software. Let's try again. No, it's not going to allow Chrome to install. Let's try Firefox. Firefox is now installed, and we'll work on the other apps first before we look into these. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to search, and we're going to search for a better mail client. So I'm going to go for Evolution. We also need to do something like the video player, so let's just go something like VLC. So what we can say from this is that the App Center has improved greatly because Flatpaks are now available by default. So that has improved. I'm not sure why Chrome's not installing, and that is a downside for me personally, but obviously Firefox is a good enough web browser. It should work for most purposes, but we're going to close that down, and what I want to do is see if we can adjust this bar. So we'll get rid of that, we'll get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of that out of the dock. And what we're going to do is we're going to right click, can we add that to the dock? Add to dock, and we're going to add that to the dock, and we're going to add the VLC to the dock like that, and we might as well add LibreOffice into the dock, and we'll just add it as the main application like that. And now let's see if we can drag them into a better position. So we can put that there, we can put the mail client there, and we'll drag the videos after the audio like that. And now I've accidentally clicked the LibreOffice to open, and it is opening, so we can see that's working fine. Now this is VLC, so we can click that. Let's see if we can now open a video. So you can see I've got lots of videos now. So let's see if we can open one of these, and you can see it's now playing the video, and you can actually see the video being shown on the screen. So we now have a usable media player. When it comes to web browser, so this time I was able to actually skip the ad, which I wasn't able to do before. Is it going to actually play the video though? No, it's not going to play the video. That's interesting. So we'll come back to that one. So let's cancel that. I'm assuming media codecs aren't installed, which is what the problem is there. But what we're going to do first is we're going to set up Evolution to get the mail client working. And you see you got this welcome screen. Right, so click next here, and then next again, apply. It's going to ask me to authenticate, so click next. And you can see my email client is working perfectly well. So back to our video playback problem. I think I'm going to have to go into the terminal for this. And what we're going to do is, we'll see if we can make this larger. Right, and we're going to do sudo apt install gstreamer 0.0 plugins good. Plugins bad. Now this should have installed during the installation, being that I checked the box for installing multimedia codec, so I don't know why that didn't happen. And the last one, of course, is ugly. And we can close this down now. So something odd is happening here, so I'll go into Firefox and I'll show you what is happening. We'll go to my page. Let's click on the videos tab. And let's say I click on this one here.
I started using Linux.
You can see it's now playing that video perfectly fine.
I didn't want to dual boot or replace Windows at the time, and so I gratefully.
But if I click on this video, it has an error. So that's weird.
Welcome to Everyday.
It seems to be videos of a certain length.
Educational programs and games for kids.
So it seems to be videos of a certain length it doesn't like. Let's leave that and go into system settings, see what we can find there. Default web browser, we're going to change that. It won't let me change that. It doesn't pick up Firefox as a web browser, that's annoying. Mail client, again, it won't let me change that. Video player, won't let me change it. So you've got these defaults, but it won't actually let you change the default. I wonder if there's an edit button there somewhere. But yep, another thing that I think's a bug there. You can launch apps on startup. Then you've got different settings for each of the apps itself. The desktop, you can change the wallpaper. I actually quite like the one that comes with it, but you've got a choice of other ones. I actually quite like that as well. Under appearance, you can have light or dark mode. So by default it's light, but we can go dark as well. I actually prefer the light. Then we can change font sizes, and then change dock settings. Then you got this multitasking view, so you can have hot corners in different places. Language settings, so you can change your language if you got it wrong during install. Notifications, you can deal with those. Got security policies, you can change your display settings, keyboard, printers, sound, so cover all your hardware needs. And then you got your network type stuff, Bluetooth network, online accounts and sharing, and then at the bottom you've got administration, so screen time and limits, which is quite a nice thing if you're a parent. So you can block websites, you can block apps, and you can add screen time in as well. So I think I'm at the point where I'm going to summarize my experience of Elementary OS 8. It's still not great. I'm going to label it like that. It's not great. The install wasn't brilliant. The multimedia codecs is a bit of a problem. The default apps are still naff. I'm not sure why they're sticking with those. The App Center is improved, so now you can install Flatpaks straight away. That's fine. You can install Chrome. Firefox wouldn't let me watch certain YouTube videos. It wasn't just my YouTube videos, it was other people's YouTube videos as well. But depending on which video you clicked, would depend whether you could watch it or not. And all in all, I've spent probably about 2.5-3 hours setting this up, and I feel like I could have done this myself with Debian in half that time and got the dock, the images, and all these things working with a lot less effort. And if you install something like Linux Mint, I mean, that's who this is competing with, surely, is something like Linux Mint or Zorin or Pop OS. If you use one of those, you can get set up within about half an hour and have all these things working out of the box. So I'm afraid that I still don't really like Elementary as a distribution. I think it's still got too many quirks and issues. But let me know what you think. Have you tried Elementary? If you have, leave a comment, tell me what you think. But for now, that's it. I'll see you next time on Everyday Linux User.